Welcome to the Rhine. As you can see, it's not that flat anymore. Here it really starts the journey.
This is what makes a biker so excited.
I just want to take a second to take it in.
But then my navigation just said, nah, you're gonna do another one.
Hello. At least you get to see a little bit more
Of the Stelvio.
But this is actually the best view that I can give you. That was freaking awesome. It feels like coming home somehow. Welcome everyone. This is, as they say this is day one of a really cool biking tour. We'll have a total of 16 days of riding through Central Europe, which obviously gets me very excited because I've been planning this for months. The thing is, I wanted to make sure that you go on this journey with me, so therefore I managed to also have the microphone set up and everything else ready. So just join me on the first few episodes into this journey that I'm gonna do by myself, but I did that last year as well. I spent a week in Switzerland by yourself, and the flexibility that gives is really nice. Also to be with friends is really nice, but that's the nice thing of biking. You go everywhere, you'll see everything, and that's the reason we ride. So for today, I have 366 kilometers ready because this is already almost 4 p.m. because I had a normal working day. And this will bring me to my first stop, which is just below Cologne, near the Rhine. So the reason I picked that place was a couple of months back or a year back, I went to Frankfurt by train and my train was delayed. So instead of just going straight, I just took a completely different train that took me all the way through the Rhine, over the Rhine and towards Cologne. And you will see it tomorrow. It's just like this river with mountain, river, mountain. And I always told myself, if I ever get the chance to ride there, I'll definitely will. So I took a hotel there, so that tomorrow we have a clear ride by the Rhine all the way to Mainz before we do some highways again in order to get there. Now, you always have these transport days. Like today is a transport day just to get me, like, not midway, but at least far enough that I can do tomorrow in a day to reach Austria. But yeah, you're always doing a little bit more of a highway. Those are, yes, I understand those are a little bit more dull days, but it will be alright, trust me. And then it gives me the opportunity tomorrow to also do a little bit more riding than just movement. But that doesn't mean that nobody can take this awesome feeling away of going on a holiday. So join me on this trip, as I am very excited. I guess you guys are as well, especially the ones that know me. I try to make as good as a report about everything that we're gonna see, everything we're gonna do. Some areas I've been already, and some things I have stories about already, unfortunately. But I'll keep you up to date. So join me, and we'll check in with you very, very soon. Yeah, and then you still have traffic cameras also here. A lot of them actually. But I wanted to take the opportunity to just show everybody. This is the Netherlands. So I started in Eemshaven, which is like the most north point you can do on the mainland. And as you can see around me, as also in my other shorts that I've been making here around the region, you can really see how flat it is. There's no hills, there's dikes, yes, to keep water out, but that's about the only thing. But yeah, there's no some trees, but as far as you would normally could see, it will be flat. So you can imagine that somebody that lives in an area like this, and we are really the Netherlands, the lowlands, that you're just getting a little bit more exciting when you get hills and mountains and everything else. And I always say, if you can get like a mountain training, that's always good, always do it. But my friends taught me, and the rule number one is take your own pace, look into the corners to make them. But that's not something that you would actually learn here, because there's no hairpin bends, there's no mountains, there's no hills, well, our definition of a hill would just be a little bit different, I assume. But look at that. It's mostly farmland, some forest here and there. And that's my home province of Groningen. So we are leaving Groningen, the province, my hometown, very, very soon. And then we'll cross the border into Germany. And most of our journey will also be in Germany, as we are following down the A31 and then the A3 to go to the Rhine, just under Cologne. As flat as the eye can see. So in a lot of places since last year, September, Germany does border controls. After a couple of incidents, they decided to do that. What you first mostly notice is that the first months they literally had checks everywhere. But as you can see in a second, we're crossing the German border, and they keep an eye out for any suspicious things. But it's not really a check, because in the EU normally you can go from country to country with no checks. It's like free access of goods and people. Still, they chose to do this, and it got extended again till this year, September. I don't know if they will continue to do it, but yes, we're now in Germany, so where most of our journey will be. In a little while, we'll be able to connect with the highway that takes us all the way down to Oberhausen, which is a pretty straight line, and the A31 is an easy highway to do. It's normally not that busy until we get to the Ruhrgebiet. So that's always the question if you have a little bit of traffic there. Anyway. As you could just see, a lot of people go into Germany also in order to get petrol, because here the petrol is a little bit cheaper. I'm doing the same, but it's also a different reason. For some reason they changed the composition of the normal gasoline in the Netherlands to contain 10% bioethanol. That's just not something that I want to put in my bike, so that's why I'm always going to Germany, because here they still have 5%, which is the normal standard for a very long time. I think eventually they will change as well, but oh god, I see like big lines everywhere. Maybe I should be getting some petrol somewhere else. It's amazing. Yeah, there's like a big line. I'm not gonna do that. And I'll just continue my journey and find it somewhere else. So this is where the part preparation comes in, right? I had everything prepared, everything worked, everything was peachy and fine. But then I noticed that my cell phone wasn't charging. So after checking the entire connection and everything else, I found that there is a problem with the connection. I cleaned my car, or I cleaned my bike a couple of days back. And by that I was spray washing everything, and somehow water came into the USB connection, which Quadlock normally seals pretty well, but somehow this time water got in. So that fused, the whole plug is gone. So that means that I need to see if I can get another cable, because I do have an extra charger in the back. I now also always bring reserve cables as well, but not for 3 meters. So let me see if I can get that during the trip. For now I just need to manually charge from my battery pack, which works because I use it for my camera as well. But this is why I always tell everybody, just come prepared, make sure you're prepared, and have backups on backups. Because in this case, if I couldn't have fixed it, I also have a cigarette plug or a lighter plug, which is like the small BMW one, that I can also use with a USB charger. So left or right, I need my phone for navigation together with my TomTom. So you don't want to lose that, and that's why you have backups. But we got some gas and some petrol. There were a lot of bikers here actually, to be honest. A little bit more than usual. So maybe they were doing a tour or there's something going on in the neighborhood. But at least we are good again. My phone is charging and we are on the road.
Auf Wiedersehen von Niedersachsen. And I'm willkommen in North Rhine-Westphalia. This is a completely different province here in Germany. Niedersachsen you already saw in the last 2 videos. But North Rhine-Westphalia, I had one video there actually, but it's also where the Ruhr area is, so a lot of people live there. Normally a little bit more busy as well. But as you can see on the A31, it's never that busy. Like a couple of trucks normally, and that's about it. All the way until the end, and then it always starts to get busy. But for now we're making good time.
So I'm at the midway point. I had something to drink. The bike had something to drink as well. And we're now going to follow our route. I managed, which is actually good, I managed to get a USB cable here together with a separate charger that I had back up. I managed to pull a new cable so that now my phone can wirelessly charge again. So that means, at least for the upcoming 2 weeks, not that I have to pull in and out a cable every single time. So I'm very happy about that. So we're getting back on the highway. It's going to be, I think, another roughly 2 hours. Also including some food, because at one point I need to eat as well. So let's see what the busyness will bring. I hope that the traffic at least is a little bit done. So.
So earlier in the ride, I told you that normally the A31 is clear, and then at the end, because it gets a little bit more busy, you have some construction work as well. There would be some traffic. Well, the nice thing is that I knew there would be traffic. I saw the traffic, and I actually looked around in order to go around it. And as you can see here on the other side, this is the traffic that I would be in. Currently it's a little bit driving, but mainly it's standing still, and it always takes a little while for everything to come up. So according to my navigation, I saved about 10 minutes not standing in here, rather than actually going around, which was nice because it's like 2 sharp bends and everything else. And now we just have the tail of it, which is like 1 or 2 minutes. So we should be all right and on our way. So every nation has to do freeway maintenance. Here in Germany they call it Baustelle, and they have a lot of them. Mainly also because there's a little bit of maintenance that still needs to be done. The good thing that they always try to do is to maintain the amount of lanes that they have. So I'm very positive about that. Unless it's a bridge situation like it is here, then it's not possible. Normally, lane splitting is a thing, although in Germany it's not allowed technically. There are some rules in the making, but they haven't been passed yet, so unfortunately you can't do that. But normally just take your time, especially when you're on these kind of trips. You're not in a hurry. Always try to remember that. The one tricky thing with these kind of situations, if you look at the road, you'll see that a lot of stripes were placed and also changed, and they changed the lanes again, which actually gives a lot of road that is unsafe for motorcycles to drive on. Especially when it's wet, try to avoid those at all cost. So in this case, there's still enough room on the left, but in any other case, I would say just go to the right lane and take your time. We're absolutely not in a hurry, and safety first. But like here, you see that the the lanes are going in all directions, so just be a little bit more careful and you'll be fine.
So with these trips, I make myself a promise, because previously I was also called the fast food master, because I was always the one that wanted to go and get something at McDonald's or Burger King or KFC or something. I make a promise to myself not to do that a lot this time. However, it's now so late, and by the time that I'm back at the hotel, I just want to check in, that I am going to the Burger King and just saying fuck it. It's a one-time deal, don't make a big fuss about it, but yes, I am going to have some fast food.
Welcome to the Rhine. As you can see, it's not that flat anymore. Here it really starts the journey.
Wow. That was the thing that I saw when I was with the train here, because the train is just next door. You see all these castles and old churches and everything else, and that's the full route of the Rhine all the way to Mainz. I knew it was a good decision to say I need to bike this, even if it cost me an extra day and I have to leave after work. But that makes it worth it. Then you know why you drove all that way just to come and see it. The strange thing is, I'm here to south of Bonn, and for some reason there are so many kebab shops that the only thing I'm smelling right now is kebab. So I'm very happy that I already had dinner, otherwise I would be hungry by now. Here you can see it again. It's so wide and so massive. And there's a steady current as well that you can see. Beautiful. At least I managed to capture a train. That's the German ICE, Intercity Express. So now we are almost coming up to the hotel. The hotel is the Rhine Hotel Arte. It looked kind of new, and it also has a view of the Rhine, which obviously they charge like $50 extra for it. Knowing that it's now almost 9:30 and I won't make it too late anyhow, because tomorrow I have an early morning, I've just ordered a normal room because that's more than enough for me. There's also a boat that you can take to the other side of the Rhine here, but tomorrow we'll stay on this side as there is enough to explore still. I think in total I've driven about 5.5 hours, so that was not too bad. Although it is after a full day of work, so that's the only thing. Tomorrow we have a really nice day, but also a travel day, partially because tomorrow we'll drive all the way from here to Austria, to the north of Austria, just below Munich. So we do some highways, but we first have the Rhine to drive down, which I'm really excited about. I'm actually really looking forward to it. If I'm looking at the buildings right now, I'm already getting very, very overexcited. And then I still need to make sure that I also keep my eyes on the road. It's always funny, they always say like, oh yeah, you're there in 1 minute, and then it's way further down than you would think. This place looks nice actually. So normally on the first night, especially if you're traveling these long distances, you don't make late nights. You tend to celebrate, especially the first evening, with some alcohol or something. I just make a YouTube short or an Instagram short, and then have some whiskey and maybe watch an episode or something. I made sure that my tablet was also with me, so I can at least see everything. And here we are. Let's see if we can find a neat parking space. So I just want to say thank you for watching this one. Although only the last bit was really interesting, we managed to get onto a couple of topics, especially on stuff breaking down on your bike while you're going, and especially it always happens at the beginning for some reason. So for now, thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit like or subscribe down this video, below this video, and don't forget to watch episode 2, which is tomorrow. Stay safe, everyone.
It was disaster, but it also made me realize how much you can do on a bike, how much is too much, and also when you can still enjoy yourself.
So, before you start judging, I have a story and a good reason to be at the McDonald's tonight. Well, let me tell you one thing, my ass will be very happy to get off this bike today.